The idea of a dog came up on a rainy Sunday. Mum said, maybe we should get a dog. The kids cheered. I wasn't so sure. Dogs meant mess, noise, work, but the family was set on it. They wanted to rescue, not buy. We scrolled through shelter photos, so many hopeful faces. Then we found him, Scruff. His picture was last, his description short. Scruff, male, mixed breed, very shy. He wasn't cute or playful looking. The note said he'd been there for months. Scruff just sat in the corner looking like he'd given up hope. The kids felt sorry for him. Let's get that one, my daughter whispered. My wife looked at me. I shrugged. If they wanted a project, this was it. The decision was made. We'd go see Scruff. Scruff was small, thin, with matted fur. He didn't run to greet us, just lifted his head, eyes sad. But my family wanted him. We filled out the paperwork. The staff seemed surprised anyone wanted Scruff. We brought him home, hoping for a new beginning. None of us knew how much he'd change our lives. Bringing Scruff home was quiet. He didn't jump out of the car. He had to be lifted. He walked with his head down, tail tucked. Inside, he found the darkest corner, under the sofa. There he stayed, a little brown shadow. Sometimes you'd forget he was even there. The kids tried coaxing him out with toys, no luck. My wife placed food and water nearby. He only ate when no one watched. At night, we'd hear him tiptoe to his bowls, then retreat. Days passed like this. Scruff, a ghost in our house. The kids were disappointed. They'd imagined a playful companion. Scruff wasn't that dog. He made no sound, no fuss. I mostly ignored him. He was their dog after all. I'd see the tip of his tail or watchful eyes in the dim light. He never barked or whined. It was almost like we didn't have a dog at all. My wife sighed. I hope he comes around. I didn't say much. The house continued its usual rhythm: school, work, dinner, TV. Scruff remained a silent observer, present yet absent. He didn't ask for anything, didn't demand attention. He just existed quietly, waiting. Maybe he was waiting for us to give up on him too, but we didn't. I've never been an animal person. Growing up, no pets, just more chores, more mess. So when Scruff arrived, I was politely indifferent. He was just there, a piece of living furniture. I didn't go out of my way to interact. My family knew how I felt. They didn't push me. I'd come home and he'd be a lump under the sofa. I didn't call his name, offer treats, or pat his head. He was invisible to me and I to him. Sometimes I'd catch his eye, a fleeting glance, not fear, just weariness, as if he expected nothing. I'd look away quickly. My routine was set: work, home, dinner, TV, bed. A dog didn't fit, especially not a shy, broken one. The kids and my wife tried their best. They spoke softly, left treats near his hiding place. Slowly, he started to trust them a little. He might poke his nose out if they were quiet, but he never approached them directly, and never me. I was the big, gruff man of the house, the most intimidating. I kept my distance. It was easier that way, or so I thought, but Scruff was always there, quietly watching. And maybe deep down I was watching him too. It started with early mornings. I'm always the first up, enjoying the quiet. One morning, weeks after Scruff arrived, I saw movement. He crept out from under the sofa, standing by the kitchen doorway. He just watched me, not coming closer. I didn't say anything, just sipped my coffee. He stayed a few minutes, then retreated. The next morning he was there again, a little closer, still wary, still ready to bolt, but there it became our silent ritual. Sometimes I'd accidentally drop a crumb of toast. When he thought I wasn't looking, he'd sneak forward, snatch it and retreat. Barely an interaction, but it was something. A crack in his wall, and maybe in mine. I found myself looking for him each morning. One day, I dropped my keys. They clattered on the floor. Scruff flinched, but didn't run. He took a tentative step, sniffed the keys, then looked up at me. His tail gave a tiny, almost imperceptible wag. I almost missed it, but I didn't. That tiny wag felt like a breakthrough. Our silent mornings became a quiet connection. I started to wonder what else Scruff might be willing to share. Maybe, just maybe, he was ready to trust. And maybe I was ready too. The wall between us was starting to crumble. All it took was a little patience and a few crumbs. Sometimes that's all it takes to start something new. The morning encounters continued. Scruff grew a little bolder each day. He'd come into the kitchen while I made coffee, sitting by the far wall. I started greeting him quietly. "Morning, Scruff." He'd listen, ears perked, understanding the tone if not the words. In the evenings I'd watch the news. Scruff would lie on the rug, not too close, but in the same room. Sometimes, if I worked late, he'd settle under my desk near my feet. I never reached down to pet him, not yet, but his quiet company was comforting. We developed an unspoken understanding. We coexisted, sharing the same space. The wall between us was almost gone. He was becoming part of my world, and I was becoming part of his. Sometimes the best friendships grow in silence. Scruff was teaching me, one silent morning at a time. We were both changing together. All it took was a little patience and a lot of quiet. The turning point came on a chilly autumn evening. I was in my armchair, feeling down after a rough day. The house was quiet. Scruff was on the rug. He seemed to sense my mood. He got up, walked over to my chair, closer than ever before. He looked up at me, brown eyes soft. He let out a little whine, a questioning sound. Then he gently placed his paw on my knee. I looked down at his paw, then at his face. His tail gave a slow, hesitant wag. He was offering comfort. This little dog, who had every reason to distrust humans, was reaching out to me. Something inside me shifted. I slowly placed my hand on his head. His fur was soft. He leaned into my touch, eyes closing. He let out a contented sigh. I started to stroke his ears. He seemed to love it. I sat there for a long time, just petting Scruff. The worries of the day faded. It was just me and this little dog. In that quiet moment, a real bond was formed. He wasn't just Scruff anymore, he was my dog. The wall between us was gone. I realized how much I needed him too. Sometimes comfort comes from the most unexpected places. Scruff had found his way into my heart, and I was grateful. That night everything changed. We were no longer strangers, we were family. After that evening, everything changed. Scruff was no longer just a shadow, he was my shadow. He followed me from room to room, always at my feet. If I went outside, he was right beside me. He wasn't boisterous, but his quiet presence was a comfort. He had chosen me, and I had chosen him. Our mornings became more interactive. I'd talk to him while the coffee brewed. His tail would thump in reply. He'd nudge my hand for a pat. I started taking him for early morning walks, just us. He walked proudly, tail higher, exploring with new confidence. These walks became our special time. He even started to play with an old sock, tossing it in the air, bringing it to me. His eyes sparkled with mischief, a side only I saw. The family noticed the change. "Dad, Scruff really loves you," my daughter said. My wife just smiled knowingly. I started buying him special treats, making sure his water bowl was full. I even talked about him at work. My dog Scruff? It sounded strange, but it felt right. He was my dog, and I was proud of it. Scruff had found his person, and I had found a friend I never knew I needed. We were both better for it. Scruff didn't just win me over, he charmed the whole family. With new confidence, he greeted the kids with gentle tail wags and soft nudges. He let them pet him, learned their hands were kind. He became a fixture in our family life, moving from person to person, offering quiet affection. The kids adored his gentle nature. He wasn't the rough and tumble dog they imagined, but he was perfect in his own way. My wife often remarked, "He's like a completely different dog now." Love and patience had transformed him. The fear in his eyes was gone, replaced with trust. He knew he was home, loved and belonged. Even as he bonded with everyone, our connection stayed special. When I came home, he'd be waiting at the door, body wiggling with happiness. The family joked Scruff was Dad's dog, and they were right. But he was also the family's dog, with a unique bond to each of us. He had found his place, and in doing so, he made our family feel complete. Scruff was the missing piece we never knew we needed. Who would have thought? Me, the man who didn't want a dog. Now, I can't imagine life without Scruff. He isn't just a pet, he's part of me. He taught me patience, quiet companionship, and that love can come from the most unexpected places. Scruff arrived as a broken spirit, expecting nothing, but gave us everything: trust, loyalty, unconditional love. He showed us that even the most timid souls have so much to offer if you just give them a chance. He wasn't a storybook hero, just Scruff. And that was enough. Our home is warmer, fuller, with the gentle rhythm Scruff brought, the click of his nails, his soft sighs, his happy wiggles. These are the sounds of contentment. He didn't just find a home, he made our house a home. Love can blossom in the unlikeliest places, between a man who thought he didn't need a dog and a dog who thought he'd never find a home. Scruff proved every life has value, every heart is capable of immense love. He was the unwanted pup who became everyone's friend and my best buddy. I'll always be grateful for that rainy Sunday. Scruff was the best decision we ever made. He changed us all, just by being himself. Sometimes the quietest love is the strongest, and sometimes the dog no one wanted is the one you need most. Thank you, Scruff.